Straya. How are you going? How you going? You're right. You should be. Why is that, Jim? Well, it's Monday. May the 5th be with you. That's right, it's Cinco de Mayo. We're going to go smash some tequilas and some Coronas. I don't know, probably. Hey, I'm James Clements. This is NBA Straya. I'm in Larry Armour Studios. And what a weekend that was. We got Gregg Popovic retiring. Jeez, from coaching. We had two pretty weird Game 7s that we're going to break down in the game wraps. We got the second round starting with an upset. Unreal. So we'll talk about all of that. We'll do That's Not a Knife, Old Mate, No Mate, Spud of the Night, Better Than Lonzo, Ball Magic, Tweet of the Weekend. All the good stuff. We've got some Nas. We've got the Unpopular Opinion today. We've got Outback Takehouse where we're serving up a Flame Grill Take. And then, of course, we have to bid adieu to a couple more Aussies from the Australian Player Watch. Jeez, we are getting thin on the ground, folks. Anyway, we've also got an Andrew Gaze Grey MAMBA Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence. We have a pick and preview for tomorrow's games, including some of the second round series. Basically, those overall picks. So, this is going to be fun. Trust me. So, strap in, hold on, let's get into it. Episode 1201 of NBA Straya. 61, that's all right. Let's go!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gaze.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Dyson Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
Hi, this is Ryan Brockhoff.
This is Mitch Creek.
This is Nick Kay.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the SHOCK attack.
We better watch out for the Steph Curry attack if you're the Rockets. Or the altitude attack if you're the LA Clippers. Or the James Harden attack if you're a Clippers fan. All 7 of you. Hey, let's start today's show with the daily. It's a whip around, does it, Jim? Yes, of course it is. Gregg Popovic has retired from coaching. I wanted to start here because it's obviously quite a large story. It happened, I believe, our Saturday. And you have that moment, like before we get to all the games, you're like, yeah, this was sort of always coming. It's kind of weird that it happened when it did. It's not, there's no other real news going on, but it very, very sort of limits the amount of chatter, chutzpah that we can like throw at him, and like it's a bit kind of, oh yeah, that's a bit of a shame because he is one of the all-time, like what, 3 or 4 best coaches in the history of the NBA, and he's done. He's won 5 titles. He's won the most games in NBA history as a coach. What was it? 18 straight years of 50-plus wins. Just absurd gear, right? From what, 98 to 2019 or some shit. So, like, that was playoff seasons, right? That's just incredible. And what, won 3 Coach of the Years. One of the only 5 coaches to have 5 titles in the NBA. Like Phil, Red Auerbach, John Cundler, Pat Riley. He was incredible. And it's kind of like he has a, you know, as they term it, a mild stroke, which sucks. He's also, you know, getting on in age. So he's going to keep going as president of basketball operations, which is kind of nice. You keep Pop in the family. What else was he going to go do, right? And you kind of sit there going, oh, it takes so much just pride in what you've achieved and, I don't know, just respect for what you've done, respect for the organization, and humility, I guess, if you're Pop, to go, actually, yeah, fuck it. I'm done coaching. What are we doing here? What else am I going to achieve? And then you look at Wemby and you're like, fucking, I reckon you could achieve a bit. But that's the thing. You keep Pop around. He's not going to fuck off and like retire to like France or anything. So, you know, Will the other, what is it? Mitch Johnson. Mitch Johnson. The other Mitch Johnson, not Aussie pace bowler Mitch Johnson. The new Spurs coach, Mitch Johnson. You still get Pop's knowledge. He'll be over your shoulder the entire time, so it's pretty good. Just a kind of a sad moment, right? Like this is, and I sort of hit this fairly often on NBA Australia. It's like these passings of a moment. An era has gone by, right? This is the post-Pop era. We're going to very quickly get to the post-LeBron era. And like, you know, if you're my age-ish, we've gone through like the Jordan era, the post-Jordan era, the Kobe, Shaq, weirdness kind of era. And then as soon as these guys sort of start retiring, it's kind of just a bit strange. And then you see nascent superstars like Steph take the league by storm. And you're like, aha, this is great. And very soon, Steph is going to be retired. So Pop was an absolute mainstay for, 22 years, basically, more. He took over. I love the origin story as well. Like, he was the president, what was he, the GM of the Spurs, and he fired Bob Hill. And then they tanked the rest of the year. They get Tim Duncan, and everything's hunky-dory all of a sudden. 22 years later, he's like, hey, I'm pretty fucking good, eh? But to go from having David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Kawhi Leonard, the weird blip where the team has just been shit for like a decade now. They get Wemby and boom, off they go again. It's pretty amazing. So look, Coach Popovic, an all-time legend of the NBA. Fare thee well, big fella. Hopefully he sends me a bottle of wine. I love those stories. Yeah, Pop took everybody out for dinner, paid for it. Basically wouldn't let anybody look at the menu. He's a real grumpy bastard, but we love him. So yeah, that checks out. Other little bits and bobs of news. Darius Rucker, Judy Garland. So Darius Garland did not play in game 1 for the Cavaliers. That's right, Cleveland. Today with a left toe, big toe sprain. And to the point where Jared Greenberg was on the broadcast beforehand going, yeah, I mean, if this is a regular season, they'd shut him down for at least 1 to 2 weeks. He's missed the last couple of games, so he's kind of set out for about a week already. Interesting to see what happens there because, boy, howdy did they miss him against the Pacers. And the other little bits of news were LeBron. I love a good excuse. How good are excuses? Yeah, LeBron actually sprained his MCL at the end of that game 5 where they lost 4-1 in the series because Dante DiVincenzo killed him. Remember when Dante DiVincenzo took to LeBron with like a 2x4 and just wowed on his leg? Yeah, it was pretty crazy, right? Yeah, it sprained LeBron's MCL, man. He wouldn't have been able to play, folks. It's like, okay, sure. I'll believe what I say. I'm just waiting for the James Harden excuse injury. Oh, yeah, he tweaked his hammy in game 5. He's a real warrior, that James Harden. We're going to talk about him later. But anyway, the first round is done. Let's get into some game wraps from the weekend, fly through all this, and then we'll talk out some series previews. Game wraps. That's right. Go back to Saturday. I had taken the Squids to Auskick. It was awesome. Perfect timing. I think that game started at 11, so I was able to go take an Auskick, go vote, and get home and watch the basketball. It was just sick. Like, perfect timing. But a great statement win from Houston, that one, right? They go to Golden State. They're down 3-1 in the series. They force a game 7 eventually. It was a 4-point game at the start of the fourth quarter. Bang. They just got on this big run to the Rockets. Steven Adams has his dagger dunk, whatever. And they basically stopped Golden State from scoring for about 6 minutes of the game. And then you get to game 7 today and you're like, really wish that version of Houston had rocked up because god damn did they look so much better. But they also did the same thing. They stopped Golden State from scoring for a large swathe of today's game 7, but their offense fucking stank. So a bit of a weird one. So game 6, look, awesome all-round effort from Houston to force a game 7. Steven Adams had like 17 and 5, shot 9 of 16 free throws because of hacking Adams. 29, 8 and 8 for Fred VanVleet, whatever. But they forced game 7. Warriors just looked all a bit discombobulated, run over by the youth and athleticism of the Rockets. And we'll just go straight into today's game 7. We don't usually sort of jump around, but because we had game 6 back on Saturday, we had game 7 this afternoon. Golden State win game 7 in Houston, 103-89. And after the absolute fucking egg that the Clippers laid the day before in game 7 against Denver, anticipation was high. Okay, we're going to game 7, baby! Thanks, Zaza. And the only fucking bloke who rocked up to this game, out of everybody, was Buddy Hield. what the fuck? It was an insane game. He was absolutely en fuego today in honor of Cinco de Mayo. I mean, it is still May the 4th over there, so maybe he just went full Sith Lord, right? He's just gone full Darth Plagueis. There we go. That's a fucking deep grab for you fellow Star Wars nerds out there. But this was a bit of a rock fight to start Game 7. Rock fights always are. So if you looked at my picks on Dabble, of course, remember if you're going to go sign up, use the code NBA Straya. Sign up using the link in the show description. But always the under. It's no one ever fucking scores in Game 7s. The fact that Golden State got over 103 is because they just went on this terrifying run right at the end to put Houston to the sword. And it was all over Red Rover. And it all came down to Buddy Hield in the second quarter. Like, we had early Kuminga minutes. Steve Kerr's like, oh, you guys are going to second guess me. I'm going to go full JJ Redick and go, what, you think you know better than me? Now I'll play Johnny Kuminga and you'll see he is shit. And poor fucking Johnny Kuminga hasn't played all series, basically. He's fucking colder than Antarctica. He's just like, what the fuck? And now I'm playing? Jesus. Gets out there, stinks. Moses Moody stinks. And we're suddenly like seeing zone defenses again. We saw it again in the Clippers-Denver game, which we'll get to in a second. And Johnny Kuminga, I mean, there was a moment in that second quarter where he like fakes out Steven Adams, misses the layup, gets the rebound, misses it again. You're like, oh, that dude's confidence is fucked. Anyway, was that the first quarter? Anyway, Buddy gets up to 22 points in the first half. He was 6 or 7 from downtown. It's 51-39 at the half. And you're like, alarm bells, whoop, whoop, whoop. Just the Rockets offense. And so much of this series and this team has come down to the simple idea of like, our egalitarian offense will save us. Well, not if no one can hit a fucking shot. They shot 35% in the first half, 2 of 8 from 3, and it didn't get much better. They end up pulling a couple of threes out of their ass at the very end of this game. But before that, it was basically like 4 of 16. Not even that. It was like 3 of 15, 3 of 14 at some point. They were so fucking bad. They could not buy a bucket. Amen Thompson, though, causes a bunch of havoc in the start of the third quarter. And you're like, hang on. When a hero comes along. Amen Thompson might have been that dude. And he's like just causing all sorts of havoc. They've suddenly pulled it down to a 3-point fucking game of the Rockets. You're like, yes, this is it. Jabari, he's hitting a 3, stuck in the corner, misses it. They get the offensive rebound from Steven Adams. Jabari relocates, hits a 3. It's a 3-point game, 63-60. And then, what's that? Is that from then on, it was a 40-29 run to close out this game. And the Warriors just kicked the shit out of them. Jimmy Butler hits a 3. Straight after that, it's a 6-point game. The Rockets miss. Draymond just scores a layup. No problems. There's a minute left in the third quarter, and you're just like, Houston just need to keep this close. Hit one more shot, and they go, no, Jim, I'm not going to bother. Free throws to Draymond. Amon misses a jumper, and Houston's offense just ground to a fucking hole. But they do manage to keep it down to like, what, an 8-point sort of game? And then the start of the fourth quarter, you're like, okay, an 8-point game, 70-62. Fourth quarter, you're at home. This is why you play a regular season. You have the home Game 7, fourth quarter. Let's go. And Alpi Şengün chucks up 2 of the worst fucking bricks you will ever see in a playoff game. It was genuinely terrifying how bad they were. He's like, hang on a second, boys. Instead of running the plays that we probably should be, how about I go at the 2 single dudes on this entire Golden State roster who can play a hint of post defense? And guess what? He fucked them both. Steph hits a layup in between and then a 3-pointer. Steph hadn't hit a shot all fucking game. Alpi Şengün goes a bit fucking ISO ball. Boom. They go ISO Steph. Guess who wins that? Steph fucking Curry. Bang, 13-point game. Houston pull it back to 7, but just couldn't get any stops. And then they do. The Warriors go ice fucking cold again, scoreless for like 3 minutes, but Houston can't take advantage because they, here we go, don't have a go-to scorer. The egalitarian offense is all well and good until it all fucking grinds to a halt and no one can make a shot. And I'm going to talk about this in Nars, but geez, there's a couple of folks out there who might help that. Just saying. Butts gets a 2. It's a 10-point game. And then less than, 4 minutes to go? There's that stupid Fred VanVleet take foul where he just basically fucking shoves Jimmy in transition. And it's a clear path foul, and it's like, yeah, pack her up, boys. With 3:11 left on the clock, that's right. How many minutes were left on the clock, Jim? Oh, yeah! Chill! This game was over. With all due respect. Like, it was just pack her up. Because bang, Steph hits a 3, another 3, and it's a fucking 20-point game. And you're like, wow, that escalated quickly. Jesus. And that was it. They just cruised from there. Steph had fucking just sort of somehow managed to like manufacture his way to 20 points. Ends up with 22, 10, and 7. Awesome game. Jimmy Butler, 28 and 7 as well. He hit a couple of threes. 16, 6, and 5 for Draymond. And this was the biggest disparity between these two teams, right? Buddy Hield goes off for 33. He goes 9-11 from downtown. It was an inside job. And boom. Like, they didn't need Podemski to do shit. Moses Moody, they got one made bucket from the bench, did the Warriors. But because their other dudes, Draymond, Buddy Hield, went off, they win the game because no one else on Houston did shit outside of Amen Thompson, basically. Alpi Şengün. So Jimmy had 21, 14, and 5. Yeah, and was also kind of bad. He shot 9 of 23 for his 21 points. It was brutal. 17 for Fred VanVleet. Shot 6 of 13. Also had a couple of rough turnovers. 24, 9, and 3 for, can I get an amen, Thompson? He was so fucking good. And this game might have turned when he pinged his calf. Right? He's clearly hurt. Playing through it. What a warrior. But Jesus, it looked bad. Their big problem was Jalen Green was shit. Like, genuinely just shit. He ends up with 3 of 8 shooting. Dylan Brooks, shit house. 3 of 9, 0 of 3 from downtown. They combined to go 0 of 5 from 3, those two, for a total of 16 points on what's that, 17 shots. It's fucking horrible. And that's the difference. You've got this young, inexperienced Rockets team who bring in vets like Dylan Brooks and Fred VanVleet. The going gets tough. The tough just fuck off over to Golden State. Like Steven Adams, 3 points off the bench, 7 rebounds, cool. Tari Eason had a couple of moments. Oh, he had some pretty rough. He had, 2 turnovers, 2 blocks, 5 points. Jabari Smith hit that 1-3, shot 1 of 5 overall. And this is it. They just fell apart when it mattered most. Shot 6 of 18 from downtown. And your Golden State Warriors are going to the second round. There you go. But what an all-time showing from Buddy Hield. We're going to talk about him in a second, but you just can't discount in a Game 7 how massive it is for just one other random dude to just go off, right? Like we've seen it time and time again. The Denver Nuggets, we'll talk about them in 1 second. They got the exact same thing, whereas the Rockets got none of that. Amen Thompson, we know he's a weapon. But for Jalen Green to be shithouse, for Tari Eason to be shithouse, for Dylan Brooks to be shithouse, yeah, you can't carry that. So tough one for the Rockets. Well done to the Warriors. What a matchup that second round is. Holy shit. Minnesota, Golden State. Yes. I love that Ant-Man has the ability to kill fucking LeBron and Luka and then Steph and Jimmy Butler in 2 rounds. What a world. Otherwise, I mean, that was kind of it for that series. Great job by the Warriors. Buddy Hield was incredible. Draymond's game was fan-fucking-tastic. 16, 6, and 5, 2 blocks, a steal, caused all sorts of havoc, but also just manufactured buckets when they most needed them, and he was unreal. So good job by him. All right, and then rewinding, let's go back to Sunday for the other Game 7. Clippers lose to Denver just in embarrassing fashion, 120-101. It wasn't even that close. It was close in the first quarter, and then it wasn't, because James Harden, fat man, clan, just fell completely apart. Oh, but Jimmy had lots of assists, yeah, and he was shit. I don't know what to tell you. This game hung in the balance at halftime, right? You're like, here we go. This is a fun one. And Denver, everyone's hyped up. Jokic and Jamal are playing pretty well. They're looking pretty good at halftime. And then they come out of the gates with a 17-0 run, and it is over. That's it. Like, I don't even want to belabor the point. Like, Denver just fucking straight killed.
So he got straight killed.
This horrible, annoying shit Clippers team. And it's very similar, I guess, to the Rockets, right? Where they sort of just hit this point. It's like, wait, How do we score? It's like, I don't know. You've got an MVP, a 2 times finals MVP over there. And the Clippers just couldn't do a fucking thing about it. And it was kind of weird because Denver have this egalitarian looking offense in the end, but it's all because Jam and Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, orchestrated it. Whereas the orchestrator, the conductors, shall we say, on the Clippers side, had just shit games. Like looking at the sort of like the conducting part of this. So, but Harden had like a million assists, Jim. It's like, yeah, but he was also fucking horrible, right? To the point where Ty Lue was so embarrassed, he sat his dudes in a game 7. Down the stretch, it's like, we'll just fucking give up. It's a game 7, Ty. What are you saving him for? Like, what are we doing here? It was absolutely crazy. And I think like you have this like 28-10 run at the end from the Clippers from the bench mob. And Ty Lue puts in the young dudes. He doesn't put in Ben Simmons, doesn't put in Patty Mills. And the Clippers just got outthought and outworked by this Denver team. And that was so crucial. It was Aaron Gordon, it was Russell Westbrook came into this game going, we're not going to get outworked by the Clippers because they're led by James Harden and Kawhi Leonard. We're going to beat them. Check this out. And in that second quarter, as the momentum shifted, and then boom, the start of the third quarter, the Clippers are asleep at the wheel, and they got fucking ran over like by a Mack truck. Like, it was absolutely crazy. The Nuggets were so fucking good in this game, and the Clippers were so fucking shit. To wrap up, like for the Clips, 22 points for Kawhi Leonard, 6 of 13 shooting. Jim, that's not bad. What's the fucking point of load management all year if you get to a game 7 and take 13 fucking shots? What are we doing? Like, we should ban load management from here on out because, we've got to save Kawhi for the playoffs. And then what? He took 13 fucking shots. Like, there were moments in this game where it's like, ooh, you can sort of see him opening up execute, buckets.exe. And he missed a couple, and it just sort of, the flow of the game went away from him. And he's like, oh, that's fine. I'll be okay. I've already got a title or 2. He's a fun guy. And then James Harden is just like, oh my God, and he's just diarrheaing down his own leg, just nonstop. 2 of 8 for James Harden in a game 7. Amazing. Absolutely amazing James Harden show up because it's the classic James Harden, which I'll talk about it later, but wow. Zoob's only had 10 and 14. Ty Lue fucked up by just not having him out there more. It felt like he sort of played into David Adelman's hands. Batum, Derek Jones Jr., he had some buckets early, but felt even bad. Bogdan had a bit of a rough one. And then it was just garbage minutes. They had nothing. This Pistons, like, it's because Norm Powell is like, hang on a second, what's this? Altitude? No thanks. I don't know what happened to him in game 7. It was absolutely weird. He's like dribbling the fucking ball off his foot, playing just real fucking bad basketball. And they sort of, like, he's sort of meant to be their Buddy Hield in this regard, right? And he ends up with 9 points on 4 of 11 shooting and 0 of 3 from downtown. 3 turnovers and 2 assists. It was a Barry Crocker shocker from all involved. 8 of 27 from downtown for this team. Batum just, nothing. Bogdan, 12 points, but that was all just fucking window dressing late, really. 13 for Kobe Brown in the garbage minutes. Good on him. But the Nugs, the crazy thing was they just did it from pure heart, hustle, grit, and determination. They outworked and out-hustled this entire Clippers team. Aaron Gordon was indicative of that. 22, 4, and 5, but just sort of got to every second chance bucket, got to every rebound, causing all sorts of... He was a plus 23, and it's like, that tracks, right? Jam Jamal Murray only had 16 points and 5 rebounds, 2 assists, but played an awesome game. He was so fucking good. He was so in control. And that was kind of it. Between him and Jokic, who had 16, 10, and 8, they just controlled the flow of the game, especially in that second half. And then as soon as the run and the floodgates opened, there was no way that the Clippers could get back into that game because the Nuggets wouldn't let them. Just every time on offense, they're like, just check this out. We're going to run our shit and it's going to work. And it was inexorable, I think was the best way to sort of think about it. 15 and 6 for Michael Porter Jr. and 21 points for Christian Brown. LeBron James. He was so fucking good too. 21, 5 and 4. He, Rusty, AG. Wow. The effort, the hustle, the heart. Rusty finishes with 16, 5, 5 and 5 steals. A sick dunk where he hangs on the rim for like 20 minutes, geeing up the crowd, and boom. The Denver Nuggets are through to take on Rusty's old team, OKC. How good's that going to be? I love that matchup, so that was awesome. The Clippers, what an absolute fucking shit show of an end to their season in classic fashion. And then finally, the second round started today with Indy at Cleveland, and this game fucking rocked. As I told you on this morning's video, I cannot fucking wait for this series. It's going to kick ass. And as predicted, it did. Back and forth, all game. That's all we wanted, and it's exactly what it delivered. You get to the fourth quarter of this game, Halliburton and the role players, and like this is so, like as we've sort of hit on in Rockets Warriors today, the Rockets role players did not show up. The Warriors did. Guess what? They win. Nuggets Clippers, the Nuggets role players, Christian Brown, Rusty Westbrook off the bench, they rock up. Aaron Gordon, bang. Guess who wins? The Clippers role players didn't show up. You lose. Same thing happened with Cleveland Indy today, right? You have Naismith, Nembhard, just crushing it. Meanwhile, at Cleveland, they get 50 shots. 50 between Donnie Mitchell and Ty Jerome. That's not winning basketball. There's this 13-5 run to get up 8 with 2.5 minutes left by Indy, where it's just a back and forth game. After Cleveland finally hit the lead, boom. Indy just sort of almost hit another gear, just found like a little reserve of energy. Miles Turner has his putback with like 4 minutes to go, and it's the first second chance points of the game. And you're like, that's just hustle. That's just pain. Like, the entire thing that I talked about going to this game is that the bigs of Cleveland should really just fuck up Indy if that's how it's going to go. And Miles Turner just played it perfectly. Halliburton just carved them up towards the end. Cavs defense suddenly looked confused, weirded out. They're down 8 with like a minute left, and you're like, oh, shit, this is over. Siakam gets an offensive rebound, and the game was finished. It was an amazing statement win from the Pacers. They were so fucking good. And it was the exact sort of game where you're like, do they have this in them? And what was it? Indy plus 8.5 yesterday, right? And I tipped Indy to cover that. I still thought Cleveland would win. But as part of that covering, this is the exact game plan that you expect. I just thought the Cavs would deal with it a little bit better. Without Darius Garland, sure, it was always going to be a bit of a stretch, but Mitchell still with 33 points. You're like, geez, they must have been right there. He went 1 of 11 from downtown, and Cleveland, that's right, Cleveland went 9 of 38 from downtown. 9 of 38 from their threes. In 91 straight games, Cleveland had hit a minimum of 10 threes. It's the first time in over a year they've not hit 10 threes, and they lose. It was crazy. You got 20 and 10 from MAMBA. Go the throw, Jared Allen. Rough game for him, 12 and 5. Ty Jerome, 21 points. He shot 8 of 20 though. 1 of 4 from downtown. He was a plus 11, but there were still some moments where you're like, oh, that's not good. A couple of turnovers, a couple of rough ones. Strus, 2 of 8 from 3. Merrill, 2 of 5 from downtown. DeAndre Hunter, not much of an impact with his 11 points. But without Garland there, the pace was just a little bit off, it felt like, for Cleveland. And Indy, they took 15 less shots than the Cavs, but hit 19 of 36 from downtown. 44 of 83 overall. That's pretty bloody good. They spread the love again, and this is how Indy gets you. All the starters are in double figures. Halliburton gets to 20 and 10. And when that all happens, guess what? Indy fucking wins. Halliburton finished with 22, 13, and 3. Nembhard was unreal, 23-6. 5 of 6 on downtown shots. 17, 7, and 4 for Siakam. 13 and 12 for Turner. Naismith was really good too. 17 and 8 and some really great defense. Benny Mathurin, 11 points off the bench. And bang, Indy go into Cleveland, give them a 1-2 Costa Zoo, and lead the series, and now have wrested back home court advantage from the Cleveland Cavaliers. So, I reckon, let's do some awards, and then we'll get to some series previews for the second round, eh? Let's do an NBA Straya approved performance of the night.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Not James Harden. No, Buddy Hield. Out of all the performances we saw this weekend, Joker and Jamal controlling that game. Really, really good. Steph and Jimmy controlling the rest of the sort of stuff, keeping Golden State in that game. But it was all Buddy Hield. Definitely not Kawhi and Harden or Fred VanVleet and Dylan Brooks. Like, Buddy Hield coming out and just having like the greatest game he's ever played. 33 points, 9 of 11 from downtown in a game 7. Where does that have to go?
This is going straight to the pool room.
Seriously, this is the Buddy Hield game. I didn't ever know if we'd have a Buddy Hield game, let alone in a game fucking 7 on the road for the Warriors. Absolutely incredible gear. And I think the other one, like the improved performance of the night, is that you just got to remember, experience wins out. These game 7s, you have this Golden State team, this Denver team who have been there, done that, won titles, and just know how to win. And like the desperation of like Steph and Jimmy in this game 7. We can't go out in the first round in a game 7. Denver go out in a game 7 last year at home. Can they do it back to back? Jokic and Jamal go, fucking no problems. We got this. Amazing gear. No prizes for guessing who might win Spud of the night.
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the night.
Fatbad Hoop Alley Clan. That's right. You've got James Harden. Oh, I love the idea that we get to call him Small Game James once more. On one hand, you had James Worthy, Big Game James. Small Game James, with the beard, came out and shot 2 of 8 in an elimination game 7. That is just like Hall of Fame Spud of the Night territory, because it's just the latest in a long line of James Harden shitting his pants in a playoff big moment, like across his career. There's an incredible breakdown of all the times he's just been shit when it's mattered most. That is absolutely stunning. But the most incredible one for me, and this popped up, this game was the 55th time that James Harden has made 4 or less shots in a playoff game. 55 fucking times he's hit 4 or fewer shots. That is absolutely, genuinely stunning. 55 fucking games. And then Josh Eberle on Twitter has the list of just all the times that Harden's been shit. Those 2012 finals when he was 6th man of the year for the Thunder, he was fucking shithouse in the finals against the Heat. Just completely no-showed. Goes to the Rockets. They're down 3-0. He has 10 turnovers, shoots 4 of 12. They get blown out. There's all these other ones for the 15 for the Clippers. Against the Clippers, rather, Harden just shits the bed again. 5 of 20. It was a minus 21 in a game that his team won by 12. Kevin McHale just goes, fuck off, idiot, and goes with Corey Brewer instead. 2 of 11 shooting, down 3-1 and 15. Has 12 turnovers. 2017, the Spurs-Rockets game. He gets blocked at the end by Manu. Absolutely incredible. And just 10 points, 6 turnovers, 6 fouls. They get just blown out by 39. The 3-2 Rockets-Warriors run, where they, in game 7, they blow the double-digit halftime lead and miss 27 threes. Amazing gear. 2020 Rockets-Thunder. He has 17 point shots, 27% from the field. And then, boom, down 2-1 to the Lakers. He shoots 18% from the floor, and off they go. It goes on and on. 22, Heat Sixers. 23, Sixers Boston when they're up 3-2, and he completely no-shows the rest of the series. Clippers Mavs last year, just amazing gear. And then this year, just non-stop. It's the James Harden special. He just absolutely shits himself when it gets, absolutely hardest. And I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. But we're always going to remember James Harden for just absolutely shitting himself when it mattered most. That is all-time Spud territory. All time. And you hate to see it. It's really brutal. 55 times he's shot, or he's hit 4 or less shots in a playoff game. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Who's old mate, no mates, Jim?
Old mate, no mates.
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 Yeah, it might be James Harden. I've got even more thoughts. Like, I'll just get into this in your nars, but still. Pretty crazy that he's just getting dunked on left, right, and center, but that's what happens, right? Steve Ballmer flew 120 Clippers fans to that game in Denver. They all sat behind like the bench. It's pretty funny. It's like, Steve, you literally had to fly 120 people out just to pretend like they're your mates. It's pretty good. And David Adelman, I remember him. He's the coach of the Nuggets. Pretty fun one. He's like, yeah, I had a good friend the other day make me feel awful. I said, yeah, if we win this series, man, we're going to go play a team that's 68-14. He said, nah, man, they're 72-14 because they've won 4 games in the, yeah. He's like, okay, appreciate that, bro. David Adelman's mate's going, yeah, dude, you're fucked. That's pretty good. Pantsing of the night. I mean, what the Nuggets did to the Clippers at the start of that third quarter. It's an all-time pantsing. And it's just another pantsing in the James Harden annals, or anals as it were, if we're talking Harden. He's now lost a Game 7 with 4 different teams, which is incredible. With the Rockets loses Game 7 against the Warriors in 2018. The Nets, Game 7 against the Bucks in 2021. Sixers, Game 7 against the Celtics, and the Clippers now against the Nuggets. Absolute pantsing just to have him on your team. What about better than Lonzo Ball / Ben Simmons / Bronny James?
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. We're coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody. Christian Braun. LeBron James, 21, 5-4, 8 of 15 from the floor, 3 of 5 from 3. Christian Braun, you don't want to say he's the reason that they won that game against the Clippers, but he's a giant part of why they won that series. He did not back down to fucking anybody. He was not afraid of a single Clipper, and he came out and outperformed the vast majority of the Clippers for the season, or for the series, and then in Game 7 actually fucking showed up. And again, to bash home a point, this is why you get home court throughout the regular season in a playoff series. You get to play Game 7 at home, and you can have a role player at home play better. Christian Braun, absolutely awesome. 21, 5-4, plus 11 in this game. He was instrumental when they got going in that third quarter. Put the foot to the floor and away they fucking went. All right, what about a Magic tweet of the weekend? I love this. So good. Anyway, the young Houston Rockets went on the road and beat the Golden State Warriors 115-107 with 5 guys in double figures led by Fred VanVleet, who had 29 points, 8 rebounds and 8 assists. Alperen Sengun scored 21 points, and Steven Adams surprised us all, coming off the bench to add 17 points. Awesome coaching job by Rockets coach Ime Udoka. He made some awesome adjustments, playing the 2 centers, Sengun and Adams, together, and he had his rocket emoji, ready to play. Oh, it sounds like was it Magic AI? Still. Thanks, Magic. Oh, seriously, is Magic just doing chat magic? Chat GPT Magic Johnson? Like, fuck yes. That's like, I'm a little bit stunned by just how chat Magic Johnson-y that was. But anyway, good job by him. And finally, Dickhead of the Weekend.
Dickhead of the Week!
Ken. Nick Young going out on a limb and just calling Luka fat was pretty funny. He is a fat motherfucker that got his ass busted. It's okay. He can get buckets. There's a lot of fat people that get buckets. It's okay to be fat. People say what the people see. He is a fat motherfucker that can score. Is he skinning? No, he is not. He is fat. It's okay to be. A, who the fuck asked Nick Young? B, what the fuck? Holy shit. Off the top rope, a wildly irrelevant former NBA player just going all in on Luka being a fat bastard. It's a bit of dickhead material, but jeez. Anyway, all right, let's do some yeah nahs right after this.
This is Cam Glidden. This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Australia.
You listen to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're listening to
Australia.
NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
All right, let's do some yeah nahs. Remember, you can shout us a beer over in the link in our bio as well if you want to buy us a coffee or shout us a beer. Just for all the hard work that your mate Jim does every day, putting out a show by himself. Anyway, go check it out. Link in the bio. You can also sign up to help us out by signing up to Dabble using the code using the link in the show description, of course. Use the code NBA Australia. Off you go. Right, some yeah nahs. James Harden. Will this be his lasting legacy? Yeah, nah. Yeah. I think he'll have two legacies, right? Like, just the simple idea of like gravitational pull of like one single player, right? When you sort of have this really sort of isolated player who sort of all the gravity sort of surrounds him and what he does. That'll be like one of the first things where it's like, wow, he got all these amazing stats. It's like, yeah, they geared absolutely everything towards him. But then the other one would be he never fucking showed up in the playoffs ever. And it's one of like a very few amount of superstars have ever sort of gotten to that point where it's like genuine superstar bottles it in the playoffs every fucking time, right? It's one of the sneaky things about Melo that no one ever sort of talks about, but, you know, never really won shit. Oh, but he made it to a Western Conference Finals, yeah. And they should have fucking beaten the Lakers. But anyway, it sort of goes down as like these weird things. Will he also go down as one of the most inconsequential superstars ever? Yeah, nah. Kinda, yeah. Because that's almost when we've sort of gotten to this point where winning matters so much. He won a lot. Right? His team's always won a lot. But as part of winning, you get to these big moments where just not shitting yourself actually matters. And he has shit himself so many fucking times. It's ridiculous. And like stars of consequence as well. They take responsibility for this shit. And James Harden, after every loss in this series, did not face the media. And that leads me to this one. Is that just the LA Clippers' biggest fucking problem? Zero leadership. Yeah, nah. Yes. Oh, we've got this veteran team. You can't just have Ty Lue be the leader in this team. You've got a bunch of like dudes like Zoobs, Norm Powell, Derrick Jones Jr., but your two superstars, I use, that one for James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, he's out there going, he's a fun guy. And a bloke who doesn't want to face the media because he shit his pants again and is running away. It sort of just tells you like, well, what happens then, I guess, when you're sitting in that locker room, when hard questions are asked, when you're facing like a bit of adversity, do the tough get going or do the tough fuck off and not face the media? If they're not facing the media, they're not fucking leaders. You got to take responsibility for this shit. You got to at least front up. And Harden and Kawhi, like Kawhi fronts the media, cool, but wow. I'm going to get to him in a second. It's embarrassing. Like if you're a Harden fan, like, because he's got this iconic look. We're going to think about like James Harden, I talked about eras earlier. We're going to look back at the James Harden era and go, that was fucking weird. He scored so many points. He was such a good player and never rocked up when it fucking mattered. And that void of leadership really fucked him long term. Zachy Boo had a good yeah, nah. Yeah, nah. Christian LeBron should receive the game ball for game 7. Yeah, nah. Yes. I kind of hit on this before in the Lonzo Ball segment. He was so fucking good. Absolutely instrumental to that game 7 win. That hustle from Brown, The hustle from AG, the hustle from Rusty Westbrook. I can't believe how much they outworked the Clippers. To the Clippers are just like, oh, I don't want to be here. And this is where this like lack of leadership really kicks you in the dick. Like Harden no-showing in Game 7, you get that. Kawhi Leonard only taking 13 shots in a Game 7, that's just inexcusable. Like fucking nut up. What are you doing? Jesus. Matty L had a good one. Yeah, looking forward to Pacers Nuggets next season just to see if Halliburtons want the smoke with two giant Serbian brothers hanging around. It's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I love good ABA matchups anyway. But yeah, that's pretty fun. Rockets, KD or Giannis? Yeah, well, I mean, one of them, yeah. This is the exact problem you can see with the Rockets coming a kilometer away. When it's Fred VanVleet and Amen Thompson, Şengün, Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green, like Dylan Brooks crapping it in a Game 7, not a giant surprise. Fred VanVleet not quite having enough down the stretch, not a giant surprise. Alpi Şengün just being not very good and Jalen Green being fucking terrible. That's one of those ones you go, if this team had Kevin Durant on it, look out. So I think he's probably, I mean, Giannis is fucking awesome and Giannis is a lot younger and it's going to cost a lot more to go get Giannis from Milwaukee. Houston has a lot, though, to give. So I think KD probably fits better, but you may as well go get Giannis if you can. I mean, you kick the fucking tires on it, right? You go, hey, Milwaukee, just, I don't know, hypothetically, what would it cost? And they're like, this. And you're like, oh, shit, we can do that. Whereas the Suns, same sort of thing with KD. You've got plenty of young dudes that you can give to the Suns. The problem is because they've already got Devin Booker and they've got Brad Beal, you might have to sort of try to figure out where Jalen Green might go elsewhere. There are other teams out there, but Jalen Green was so fucking bad in this playoff run. It's just maybe tanked a lot of his trade value, but maybe Milwaukee be like, yeah, that kind of works next to Dame in 2 years' time. We'll see what happens. So I think KD fits better. You can maybe go Jabari or Jalen or Brooks and picks, maybe. But yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. I feel like KD on this team gives them a go-to scorer down the stretch, gives them like a little bit, even more length. Like as long as you keep Amen Thompson, who fucking cares, right? Like you put him next to KD and whoa, watch out. Love that. So whereas Giannis, look, he controls a little bit more of it. You have him next to Amen Thompson and Jesus, try scoring on that team. Kind of like either of them, but KD, if he costs, at the cost price, KD probably is a fun fit because you can keep a lot more of your core, whereas Giannis is going to cost you a fucking arm and a leg, and so he should because he's awesome. But yeah, the Rockets, do they need a superstar added to this team? Yeah, Yeah, I think they do. Because I don't think Jalen Green's that guy. I don't think Alpi Şengün is. I doubt that Reed Shepherd is either because we didn't fucking see him. Amen Thompson, as long as you keep him, I'm kind of cool with whatever the fuck else you want to do, right? Because Jabari hasn't quite popped enough. Fascinating. And that's why, look, I picked the Rockets. I thought they'd win. They didn't. And I'm kind of happy they didn't because now they actually have to do something about it. I don't think you can just let this lie and go, we'll be better next year. It's like, will you? Will you? All right. Unpopular opinion of the day.
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
The other one is that the Clippers will be out there in a million different fucking rumors, but I kind of think they're fucked. And I think so much of this is that Kawhi is like, everyone's like, oh, he doesn't have any personality. He's so unassuming. He's a fun guy. He also gets away by just not doing enough from a leadership point of view, having scapegoats like Harden on his team. It's cool that he finished a fucking season healthy for the first time in 5 years, which is pretty incredible. But again, why the fuck are we load managing if you're taking 13 shots in a Game 7? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. What are we doing here, Kawhi? What sort of leadership is that? It's like, boys, just get out of the road. Let me do this. So He averaged a 25, 8, and 5 for the series. Shot 54, 41, 78. Incredible, right? A 22, 5, and 2 in Game 7 is just not going to fucking cut it, though. And I feel like Kawhi just gets absolutely zero blame. And it's kind of like an unpopular opinion because I think he should get a fuck ton more, because I think every time his teams do not go on to win something, and this clip, and it's basically the Clippers, right? Because obviously he wins with the Spurs, he wins with the Raptors. He goes to the Clippers. It's his team. It's his decision. Everything that they do, they go get Paul George. They give up SGA. It's all on him. And he cops so little fucking blame that it's ridiculous. So anyway, bums me out. Also, unpopular opinion of the day. I love it when the Cavs are in the playoffs. Doesn't seeing that court just make you feel like, yeah. Talk about LeBron James era shit. Like, you just see the Cavs court in the playoffs and it just makes you feel like it's the playoffs a little bit. It's the same with the Celtics, same with the Lakers, same with the Warriors, but yeah. Anyway, Cavs, just want to give them a little shout. Outback Takehouse. It's Monday at Outback, and you know what that means? Yep. Sent the boys on their scooters this morning to daycare and school. Just a couple of cricket bats either side. Bang, bang, bang. Managed to catch 3 possums on the way there. Chucked him under the pram. Brought him home. Boom. Slow roasted possum. It's today's special, and it's only at Outback. And today's Flame Grilled take is, this one was a comment from, I think, Ryan over on the socials. Patty Mills didn't get out there in his last game for the LA Clippers at the end of this season, but he should go around one more time with the San Antonio Spurs. That's right, bring Patty home to San Antonio. Only at Outback. I don't know if it's a Flame Grilled take, but I fucking love the idea. Just one more NBA season for Patty, then he can come home, 3-year deal with United or whatever. It's crazy that Delhi's gone to the Kings. And yeah, maybe Patty comes home to United anyway. But the question is, was that Patty Mills' final stint in the NBA? Yeah, nah. I really fucking hope not. I hope we get one more year of Patty, because I think this is going to be Jingles' final year. I don't want it to be Patty's as well. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I talked about eras and the passing of everything turns. I'm not ready for that yet. Let's keep Patty there. All right. Speaking of which, the Australian Player Watch. Tell you what, bit of a tough one. Box Hill Benny, Ben Simmons did not play. Coach's decision. Game 7 against the Denver Nuggets. Didn't even get out there at the end of garbage time. And same with Patty Mills, which is a bit of a shame. I would have liked to have seen Ty Lue just go, yep, fuck it. Patty, get out there for one more minute, take a victory lap, and then sit down, pal. But Ben Simmons, that's a, yeah. Anytime it's like, well, fuck, none of our planning is going right. And Box Hill Benny was still rooted to that bench, nailed to it. Yeah, it doesn't bode great, does it? Johnny Fefe, today, Copter did not play coach's decision against the Cavs. Not a giant surprise there. And Rock'em Sock'em Block'em Jock'em Landale for the Houston Rockets. He's done now as well. Copter did not play coach's decision as well with a knee contusion over the last couple of games. Hope he's all right. Be interesting to see what happens with Jock over the course of this season too. Well, this off-season, because he's got an interesting sort of contract number. So we'll see if he sticks around there in Houston. I'd like to see him stay there. But that means that the only 2 Aussies remaining in the second round of the NBA playoffs who actually have a shot at playing are Johnny Furphy and Jinglin Joe Ingles. Because Luke Travers, Alex Ducasse are on 2-way contracts, so they can't actually get out there in the playoff rosters. So, bit of a rough one. But anyway, how about an Andrew Gaze Grey MAMBA Award for outstanding achievement in the field of excellence? Let's do it.
Andrew Gaze Grey MAMBA.
Outstanding achievement here.
The field of excellence. Let's do it. Nikola Jokic is pretty good at basketball. There was a cool stat, however, just about how much he's changed this Denver Nuggets team. Since they got there from the ABA into the NBA, basically pre-Jokic, the Nuggets had won 9 playoff series total. Nikola Jokic has won 10 playoff series as a Nugget. That's incredible. Your entire franchise history, they hadn't won more than they've won since he got there. That is incredible. I love that as well. So great job, Nikola Jokic and those Nuggets. But also, he's the first bloke to actually average a triple-double for an entire season and win a playoff series. How crazy is this? So he did it this year, right? He finishes the series as well, averaging a 24, 11, and 10. Amazing. But Oscar Robertson in 1962 lost in the first round. Rusty Westbrook, 17, 18, 19, 21, lost in the first round. Nikola Jokic wins a playoff series. That's pretty bloody good. Also, how good was Russell Westbrook? I love that. All right, let's do some Patty Mills Game Day, Bella Game Day Twitter check-ins, and then some series and game previews. Oh, yes. Let's go to the Patty Mills Game Day, Ball Game Day Twitter check-in. Oh, House of Bane. Incredible story and journey by all the ladies. On your bangers. Look at him. Getting out there, causing havoc. I think Josh Giddey has also just gone out and bought himself a watch. So let's have a look at that in his story. Jesus Christ. He's peeking at it. This is a man who's about to sign a max contract looking at that watch, apparently. Someone messaged me about that too. Saying it's like, Travis Sue. Did you see Mop Top Insta Reel? 100K watch purchase. The man knows he's about to get paid. Yeah, nah. Yes. Love that. And hopefully we'll have a Patty Mills update tomorrow. Right, let's do some game and series previews. Game and series previews. Game and series previews. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? Yeah, not bad. Had a great weekend. Took the squids to the pub to watch the footy on Saturday. That was bad. Carlton got their heads kicked in. I went to an awesome gig on Saturday night, though. My mates, the Resignators and the Go Set at the Brunswick Ballroom. Fucking awesome night. Resignators whip. They're playing in Canada and Mexico soon. So if you're over there, go check them out. They rule. Way to go, Francis and the Resignators. That was awesome. The Go Set are always fantastic. This week, I'm actually going to ZZ Top. It got pointed out to me, Jim, you know you're going to rock up to ZZ Top and everyone's going to be like, hey! I'm like, fuck, I hadn't thought about that. I just like ZZ Top. I haven't seen them live, so that'll be fucking... Anyway, I'm going to Dear Seattle on Friday night too, so lots of gigs coming out the wazoo. Right, let's do a couple of these series previews. Right, I already sort of did the series preview for Cavs Pacers the other day. We had Cleveland 4-2. Love that. But then the other series in the East, Knicks, Boston. This is going to be massive. Boston, looks like Drew Holiday is going to be back fairly soon, which is kind of nice for them. So it depends on how much of an impact he'll have, but I mean, it'd be very handy to have a Drew Holiday and a Derek White to throw at Jalen Brunson. I think the Celtics don't really have too many problems with this Knicks team. Like the Knicks are like, we're built to beat Boston. It's like, yeah, but you could barely beat Detroit. This one screams Boston 4-1 to me. I just think they fucking steamroll them. The Knicks probably get game 3 in New York, and then everyone's super hyped and Boston fucking give them the old 1-2 Costa Zoo, knock them out in game 4 and then go home and win it on home court for game 5. So Boston, look, you can say that the Knicks are built to beat Boston until you fucking turn blue. The problem is if Karl Anthony Towns keeps being the James Harden of big men, they've got no fucking hope. The extreme Zinger meal, he's out there. He's, had a unicorn horn ripped off him. And they barely need him. Between Zinger and Horford, they've got Tatum and Brown playing really, really fucking well. The Knicks have got Jalen Brunson playing pretty well. OG Anunoby playing pretty well. And no one else. They're going to be fucked. Boston, they'll probably have these weird moments against this Knicks team where the Knicks look incredible. But Boston will probably still end up winning some of these games. So with game 1 tomorrow, the Celtics are 9.5-point favorites at home. And I'm going to take it. The Knicks, especially for game 1, I really struggle to see them sticking close. I think Boston will come out breathing fucking fire at home in front of that crowd against the Knicks. They're going to love that. I expect a really big Tatum game. And Jaylen Brown sneakily as well. I reckon that'll be pretty good. But so much of this will actually sort of hinge on them having Jrue Holiday to go with Derek White to have just to throw at Jalen Brunson, right? So we'll see what happens there, but I'm going to probably take Boston for game 1. And I'm going to take Boston 4-1 in that series. Then, going out west, we have Denver OKC kicking off tomorrow as well. which is pretty crazy. It's like we've seen so much Denver and then they've got to go straight into this series against the fucking 1 seed. Yeah. This is a lot tougher to pick, right? Because you are so tempted after seeing Denver get by the Clippers, go, championship mentality. They just know how to win. And then you look at OKC and you're like, untested, unproven. It's like they've won a million fucking games. I like OKC in 6. I think Denver have that veteran wherewithal and know-how. And I think 1 or 2 of the games in Denver they could easily win. I feel like their depth will be sorely fucking tested up against an OKC team who, this is their proving ground. This is OKC's proving ground. They kicked the absolute living fuck out of Memphis. This is the big test for OKC. This is the prove it moment, right? SGA, J-Dub, Chet, everybody. If you can stymie this Denver team and the Chet, Isaiah Hartenstein, match up against the Jokic big man sort of like matchup is just going to be fucking absolutely central to everything they do. I cannot wait for this series. I can't believe it's going to be such a fun, just like coaching battle between Mark Dagador and David Adelman. And you got SGA versus Jammer Jamal. You've got J-Dub up against AG and Michael Porter Jr. It's going to be really, really fun. But I think OKC get tested, but ultimately win the series 4-2. Home court will matter, I think, for OKC here. And I think they smashed Denver in game 1 because basically road teams in game 1s having just come off of game 7, they tend to get fucking straight killed. So I expect OKC, they're 9.5 point favorites again tomorrow as well. I don't like taking like both big favorites, but Boston are better than Knicks. Okay, taking Boston. OKC against a Denver team that's coming off a grueling 7-game series against the Clippers. I'm going to take a really rested OKC team, minus 9.5 as well. And then the final series. How good is that Minnesota Golden State series going to be? And I still think Minnesota is probably a little bit too good, which is crazy to think about. But Jimmy Butler and Steph up against Ant-Man, Jaden McDaniels, Rudy Gobert, the Stafford Tower. I think Golden State really give them a fucking run though. Oh boy, if they didn't have Gary Payton today. Buddy Hield goes off his head. Can the Warriors win that Minnesota series and actually make the Western Conference Finals? Can they? Yes. Will they? No. I'm going to say Minnesota in 7, I think. I'll reserve the right to actually look at some of the numbers and make a bigger sort of prediction about that tomorrow when we preview game 1. But Minnesota Warriors, that should be an absolute fucking cracking series. I'm so stoked that we got it. So, yeah, should be fun as. But there you go. So the 2 games tomorrow, Knicks Boston, we're going Boston. OKC Denver, we're going OKC. And of course, you can find all the picks over at Dabble. Use the code NBA Australia. Sign up using the link in the show description or in our link in our bio. And if you want to shout us a beer as well, you can do that in the link in bio too. But for today, that is it from NBA Australia. What a weekend that was. It was fun as, wasn't it? So we'll be covering all of tomorrow's games tomorrow on tomorrow's NBA Australia. That's what we do. In the meantime, make sure you're following NBA Australia on Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, YouTube, all the good stuff. Get around NFL Australia with myself and Gaz as well. I ran into Gaz's wife the other day, which is hilarious. Shouts to Cash. I owe her a beer. She bought me one early, and I never got around to getting another round, so my bad. It's been plaguing me too. Anyway, chuck us a rating review on your Apple Podcast, your Spotify, YouTube, whatever app you're using on the Android phone. Rate, review, star, subscribe, say g'day, jump in the comments, send through some nahs, go hammer and tongs. Just let us know. The playoffs, they're so much fucking fun. Get involved. What else? You can go check out Dabble, of course. Use the code NBA Australia, as I just said. Sign up using the link in our description of the show each day or in our link in our bio, and you can shout us a beer as well through there too. Big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song. So too to House Hats, Joshua De Laurentiis, Fascinated Gold Mines, Ramshackle Army, Iowa, Sexual Green, and Dozers. They're behind all the tunes you hear throughout the show, so smash them all on Bandcamp, Triple J and Earth, Face, Apple Music, Spotify. Have you new tunes? NBA Australia Sports Australian bands, so should you. All right, we'll have a daily review for you tomorrow because this one's already a bit late. So we'll get out of here. We will catch you tomorrow, you dickheads. How good are the playoffs? Bloody good, Jim. And may the 5th be with you. All right, this is NBA Australia. Look after yourselves, would ya? And Later ho, son. G'day legends, your mate Jim from NBA Straya here. That's right, I'm doing a thing at the end of the show. In the business we call it a thing at the end of the show, I guess. I don't know. Either way, all I'm just saying is just make sure you're rating, reviewing, starring, subscribing across all of the apps that you use for NBA Straya. Jump in the comments, give us a shout. We'll bang you in yeah, nahs. Any other questions? I'll have a crack. I've got nothing better to do, basically. Also, just ask any questions, tell me what you want to hear from the show, and sing out and let us know. And of course, if you want to help support the show, jump on the old dabble, use that code NBA Straya, click on the link that's in the show description or on the socials. It goes up whenever I do the morning vibes, etc. So, if that's your thing, jump on there, use that code NBA Straya, and remember, look after yourselves, would you?